A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for yet another awesome edition of For Light and Dice. We meet our heroes yet again, trying to get to Yag'Dhul. Will they actually make it in this episode? Well, listen and find out. But yeah, going through the atmosphere, it's a very bumpy, turbulent ride. And finally, when you burst through the top layer of clouds, you can see the landscape is mostly desert and wasteland. The sand glows colors of red, purple, and blue. And you can see almost clouds of radiation kind of sitting on top of certain patches of ground. On the horizon, Dodocopolis is just a massive metropolis that's contained in a bubble of energy. And there are a few structures dotted outside of the city as well. And Elzar kind of directs you towards this one place that looks more like a tall tower, like almost shaped like a missile, that's sticking out of the sand outside of the city. The tower also has a field of energy surrounding it.
So when brings the ship in, and as they break atmosphere, they announce, "Welcome to Yag'Dhul. I'm sure it will be the premier destination for vacations in the galaxy in never."
You'd be surprised, says Elzar.
I probably would be.
Interestingly enough, there are a few portals and windows at the higher levels of this tower, and there is black smoke coming out of them.
So Wynn is going to bring the one in and connected squonk around and search for a spot within the safe zone of the tower that they can put the ships down.
Unfortunately, there's not a landing pad outside of the shielding, and you would be afraid of trying to fly through it, as it would destroy the ship. So you'd have to settle on the sand.
Okay. Do we have radiation suits aboard that could? We don't.
Nope.
This is gonna go swimmingly.
Okay, so Wen flips on the comm and says, "We are circling the tower. Not gonna touch that one. Unfortunately, I can't put us down inside the shielding. And if I put us down outside, only the droids could leave the ship. We need alternate options."
Can we ask permission to land somewhere else in the city and make our way there on foot?
We could do that.
It's better not to do that, though, in case there are more allies of Aslan's trying to stop us.
Hey, yeah, Mr. Jedi, have you been to this planet before?
No.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you might know how other organics such as yourself might procure protection for the, bad atmosphere and whatnot.
Well, I think the order of things should be we need to figure out a way to deactivate the shielding temporarily so we can move the ship inside.
I have an idea. I hate it.
I am open to...
I hear that a lot from you all.
Yeah, you need to just get used to it.
Okay.
And it might not work.
I've also heard that a lot from you all.
Gosh just comes up into the cockpit, staying on the opposite side of Elzar, and just leans in by Wen. Say that we're looking for a faction house for retail O. And we are looking to... Hold on, I need to think about this. We are looking to check in with our faction here. And we are a Class C merchant as part of their organization.
I think it's worth a shot.
All right. Let me just make sure, because Wynn would remember, but I will not. Should a retail O, Class C merchant.
Let's see how well this goes, because I'm behind on my dues.
Alrighty. So Wynn opens a channel to the tower.
You should know that if this doesn't work, we're going to be in a lot of hot water immediately.
When are we not?
Okay.
Wynn opens a open broadcast to the tower and says, this is the crew of the 2000. We are looking for a faction house for Retail O. We are currently carrying a Class C merchant aboard, the assistant to the Deputy Director of Marketing. Please drop shields and allow us to land.
And there is no answer. Elzar looks inquisitive and says, "That's odd."
Repeat, this is the 2000. We are carrying a Class C merchant for Retail O aboard. Please respond.
There is no answer.
Fark. Okay.
Can we go to a different part of the city and try and directly contact Retail houses? Maybe they can lower their part of the shields.
Or maybe another city? I mean, I know this is the city that she's being held in, but maybe if we can get it. Are there other civilizations on this planet?
There's smoke in the tower.
Does no one find it odd? There's smoke coming out from the windows, and there's no response.
I think something's wrong inside.
I have a question. Do you think we could launch an escape pod with all of us in it into the barrier to get us inside the barrier?
That sounds extremely dangerous and reckless. So I like
I
that
don't
plan.
know if we could launch an escape pod with us in it, but we could punch a hole in the barrier.
Also, I just realized the droids can, people can go through the barrier just fine, right? It's the problem of the problem of the ship going through the barrier.
So they're
right?
pretty similar to ray shields. So anything organic or mechanical are equally effective.
Oh, okay.
But it's also they're designed mostly to keep the radiation out and negative effects.
Sure, because I was gonna say I could just pop out of the ship, go into the shields, turn off the shields, let the ship land, and then turn the shields back on.
Are there more than one location that to call in, Chris? Like, because you said this was a metropolis, I'm assuming it's big, so could we come in from a different place on another part of the city, or is it all just controlled by, one central place?
Well, I mean, the tower is outside of the city. It's kind of like in its own little
outside the city.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. So you could obviously go to the city and land and ask around, but yeah.
You said it's metal and organics that's affected, right?
Right.
Wynn kind of leans forward in the chair and thinks a minute and then says, it's a real shame we can't remotely hack into the tower defenses and temporarily lower the shield from the outside.
Yeah.
That would require an access port, and it is a shame we don't have a way to remotely control technology without necessarily needing an access port.
Yeah, Elzar says, yeah, that's true. It's like, I guess that one random thing that happened at the space station. Too bad we don't have
Yeah,
that.
it's really unfortunate and Wynn is leaning very
I
close to the
wanted
comm.
just
It's very
silently.
unfortunate we don't have something we know is capable of at least close proximity disabling of systems.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and talk to the computer. Which loves me so much.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Can't hear you. And Wynn turns their comm off very quickly.
Oh, what I didn't say anything over the chat. That was just me, Colton, saying that I'm gonna do something stupid.
Wynn shrugs and turns to look at Gauze and Lysander and Elzar and says, "That's unfortunate. I'm out of ideas. Let me just bring the ships around to carefully circle the tower as closely as I can get while we discuss this at length."
Okay. So one end, what do you do?
I go to the computer and slice in.
Okay. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Yeah, I can. Which I'm sure will go great. I'm just given my -1. So Chris, that's a 0. I rolled a 0. Nat 1 with a -1 modifier. So.
Yeah, so you're connecting to the computer and you feel suddenly the computer is downloading all of your recent memory banks.
Okay.
And you hear it say Jedi.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Oh god.
Cool. We're good. We're fine. We're frosty.
Why did you bring him aboard?
I'm actually shocked we got this far. We brought him aboard as to serve our ends.
What ends?
To get to the station that you are attempting to.
What do you want?
Could you please disable the shields of that tower there so the ship can get in?
What is the objective?
Collect an asset that is being held there so that we may get the Jedi off of our ship and get the information that we seek on Yag'Dhul.
So everybody in the cockpit
God.
that's as you're coming around and starting to land, everybody in the cockpit sees that the shield suddenly is deactivated.
Wow, isn't that a lucky coincidence? Wow.
That's convenient. Best not ask any questions or bring this up ever again. And Wynn moves the ship down to land.
Elzar side glances at all of you.
Lysander's like, can you teach me about the Force?
This is a weird time to ask that question.
No, it's because I feel like I have a connection to the Force. Maybe. There's times when
You do. I can sense it, but this is still weird timing.
No, I think it's perfect timing, because then we can work together to try and find your friend.
He shakes his head and just says, "We'll talk later." So you're able to land right next to the tower within the shields if you wish. As soon as you land, they reactivate.
So Wynn actually had brought Sasha with them as requested, and at this point hands Sasha over to Gauze,
Thank you.
and then stands up from the pilot seat and says, "Okay, let's get this done before anything else goes wrong."
I've had a question for a while that I keep forgetting to ask you, Chris. Sasha has a hunting rifle, and it doesn't say so, but I assume that it has a scope on it.
It does. Sure
Okay.
does, yeah.
She just shrugs. I can see if I can spot anything from afar, get an idea of what's happening. I need to go out, probably outside though.
There are access hatches on the roof of the skunk that you and I have used before. Additionally, the empty turret at the top of the squonk may provide an optimal vantage point.
Got it.
Might I suggest taking a reading of radiation levels first, because
Yeah.
the shields were lowered before they came back up.
I was just about to ask, is it safe?
When does that?
I don't want to be a fried chicken.
Yeah. The radiation levels did temporarily go back up, but they've dropped already after the shields got reactivated.
It should be safe.
All right, got it. She moseys through the 2000 into the squonk and pops open the hatch we climbed out of on Mud Day, and just poises Sasha, and she takes a look. Do I need to roll for anything?
Actually, no. At the front, there's a massive pair of arch doors that lead into the base of the tower, and the doors are slightly open, and you can see into the main lobby. It looks like there are a ton of droid guards that have been destroyed, and they're just scattered all over the lobby.
All right, you guys. The front door's open. I'm not seeing any guards because it looks like all the droid guards inside are completely destroyed. I'm gonna point it up towards where the smoke's coming from to see if there's any active flames.
There don't appear to be any active flames. No, it's just a very small amount of smoke coming out
And
of
I'm
the
gonna
windows.
check some and see if I can peek into any of the other windows. Do I need a roll since I'm actually actively looking at stuff?
Yeah, perception.
Perception. Where are you? Where is that? Oh, there you are. That is a 23, Chris.
Through one of the windows that is actually broken open, you see a human woman with no hair, heavily tattooed on her scalp, with olive skin. She is also holding a sniper rifle, or sniper blaster rifle, rather, and she is looking at her scope, staring back at you. She tilts her head to the side and raises her eyebrow, looking at you all.
So there's Mr. Jedi. Does your lovely friend is a woman with olive skin, no hair, and tattoos?
That's her.
She just lowers her scope a little bit and just like waves, like hi.
Elzar walks over and looks out the window and sees her, and he waves as well. And you see on her face, she looks suddenly very angry.
Ah,
Yeah, that's gotta be her if she looked that angry at you.
how many floors up is she?
She's on the 10th floor up.
So it looks like she's about 10 floors up, and she kind of zooms in on the scope. Looks really angry.
Wynn very
Yeah.
casually, just sort of reaches over and increases the forward deflector shield.
Thanks, Wen.
I think most of this damage is her doing, and I think we should go talk to her.
Understood. And I'm going to hop out of the squonk and make my trek up there.
Wait, what, Ed? She destroyed all those droids. Hey, Jedi, does she, like, not like droids, or do you think that was just, like, it was a guard situation?
How could one woman do all this?
She's not just any woman.
Okay?
Who
like
is
her.
she?
Are there, like, special kinds of particularly destructive women out there?
Are you familiar with what a Naboo handmaiden is?
Not at all.
Well, let's just say she used to be one.
Okay. Great. Does
But
she
when,
like droids or not? I'm kind of scared to go up there.
The topics never come up.
Perfect.
Wynn's gonna lower the boarding ramp and start towards it and say, there's only one way to find out, and they're going to exit the one in with both hands raised.
Yeah, so Elzar will come out with you all, and he kind of walks ahead a little bit, He doesn't have his lightsaber pulled out or anything, but he does seem to walk into the tower with some trepidation. If you follow him, the lobby is beautiful and glorious. There's a massive fountain that shoots all kinds of water shapes, a lot of geometric sculptures, a lift system in the center that takes you up to levels above. And literally, as you all are coming into the lobby, you see the ambassador coming down the lift. She has her guns on her sniper rifle on her back, and she does look extremely angry. She actually says, "Elzar Mann, what a surprise! You can't stick with the plan at all, and you brought friends. Great. So much for this being a subtle mission."
Hi, do you like
Wait.
droids or not?
Wait, mission.
As long as they're not attacking me.
Okay, I will be sure to not do that then. Hi, I'm Zero. These are my friends.
We're here to rescue you.
I know who you all are. Do I look like a damsel in distress?
Well, from what Elzar was telling us, it seemed like it, but I guess not.
Elzar says, "I stuck with the plan, like you asked." And she just shakes her head no.
Well, clearly, if no one is in need of being rescued, this was a fun adventure. Had a great time. Loads of laughs. Few people died, but it's not our fault. And we're just gonna give everybody a ride out of here, and we'll go. We'll go. Yeah. Well, I think we'll go.
The Ambassador Pola kind of tilts her head at you and just says, "Oh, we're not done yet. I haven't gotten any of the information we needed yet."
And what information is that?
I need evidence that there are groups of Given plotting against the Republic and trying to interfere with our negotiations.
Oh, good news. He goes back onto the ship. He's like, wait, I need to get something. Where's 1 and 2?
They're on the couch.
They're in the freighter. Yeah, they're on the couch.
Wake up. 1, 2.
Yeah, they activate and they float up. Hello, have we exploded?
No, luckily we haven't. Don't be upset about that. That's a good thing. Do you still have the recordings you took of my conversation with Aslan?
Sure.
Okay, I need them.
We also have other recordings. Would you like to see those?
Depends. Recordings of what?
They show a projection, and it's the two of them playing leapfrog together.
Aww, that's
That's
cute.
fun. That's fun, but we don't need that right now. But you can save that, I guess.
They look,
We'll show that to the others later. But it's just us.
yeah. So they will follow you.
Yeah. So then Lysander goes back. He's like, our little droid friends here did, without my permission, actually record a conversation I had with Aslan before he unfortunately passed away.
Accidentally, unfortunately, and accidentally, not our fault.
Pola says accidentally.
Well, we were being shot at by some.
We
people.
don't need to go through the whole thing right now.
Yeah,
There was a bed and a speaker.
but yeah, they should have recording of him talking about the Republic and war and things.
Can you put it on this? She takes out a small data card.
Yeah, okay. Can I like plug that into like 1 and 2?
Yeah.
or something?
One says, "Stick it in me."
Wen
You
kind
don't
of
have to phrase it like that, but okay.
Wen kind of reaches out for a second and says, "Now I want to be clear, but before we hand over this data, which we will fully cooperate with authorities and provide, that we are not going to be immediately detained after this data is handed over."
Pola looks over at Elzar, and Elzar sighs and just says, They're wanted for questioning by the Republic. And Pola shakes her head and says, "Well, I actually need to speak with them as well. And last time I checked, Naboo is a member of the Republic."
One of our terms that we made with the Jedi here was we would get a chance to clear our names.
We would be happy to cooperate. I just want to make sure we're not going to be detained. These are different things.
Elzar says, "Considering everything that's happened, and if I could trust in your discretion, the way I see it, you can either come back with me, Coruscant, or if Pola really wants to speak with you, you can go back with her to Naboo."
I've never been to Naboo.
All right, I'm at least satisfied that we can discuss this like adults. So I no longer have objections to providing the Republic the evidence they need of confirmation of a group.
And Pola says to Elzar, "And I would like to remind the Jedi Council that sometimes when help is requested, it isn't delivered. And it would be a wonderful thing if you can let me go ahead and take our friends here to a location that's significantly safer than a city that allows all sort of bounty hunters wandering through its streets, considering the price on their heads."
So IA1N is terrified of the computer right now. Given the fact that, it was about to murder every single person on the space station just to, I don't know what it was going to do, but it was going to do it. And the computer very much wants to not go to Naboo or Coruscant. So I think I...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, I'm just... Would it be possible to delay that? We still have a piece of data that we need to acquire from the city over there.
Pola says, "Well, it's your decision. You're, however, being hunted all through the galaxy. So for helping me and my father, I would welcome you to stay with us at Naboo."
Miss Ambassador, can we have a moment to discuss?
"Please, I have to have a talk with Elzar."
And the data is still downloading onto the stick from one, correct?
It doesn't actually take very long to download the data. So one pops the data card out, and Pola will grab it.
Lysander whispers to one, it was just the conversation that Aslan and I had, right? You didn't put your little leapfrog moment there?
I put in both because I think both are equally valuable.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll step over here and have a conversation, and we'll just stay right in sight of the magic wizard man and the lady with the sniper rifle, because doing anything else would be incredibly stupid.
So Pola kind of drags Elzar away, and she says, "You can't just follow one simple plan." And they just walk off and she starts pretty much yelling at him.
Okay, so here's what I think we should do. We do need somebody to go and talk to the Council of Navigators. And we have 2 ships. So I'm thinking somebody goes to the Council of Navigators and picks up that information that we requested, and the other party agrees to go to Naboo with the ambassador. And we tell the Jedi that we will speak to the Jedi Council, but we can't come back to Coruscant until there's no longer a bounty on us. So they have to communicate with us while we're on Naboo.
How far is Naboo?
not that far, I thought. Isn't Yag'Dhul like on a shipping lane that's connected to
Yeah, I thought it was like
Coruscant?
mid-rim or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
not too much
whoever's
of a...
here with the Council of Navigators could get those upgrades for the Squonk that we never got.
Well, 1N is the only one who speaks their language, so I would think that 1N should at least be part of that group.
Yes, I agree. Plus, on the off chance that bounty hunters do try and come after us, I believe I am the most equipped to deal with said bounty hunters.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Since the just all of you volunteering at once to stay on Yag'Dhul is so like
Well, I was actually about to say, I think Zero says, well, you know, I don't know how clever this Jedi is, but I think, you know, if he figures out, you know, where the ship is from and where I presumably am from, he might not like that, so maybe I shouldn't be around the Jedi as much. So maybe I should stay here with 1N.
Gauze, what do you think?
She looks over towards Elzar and kind of winces and like looks away. I haven't really had a very good track record recently, so I'll just go wherever anyone needs me. I can stay with 0 and 1N. I don't really want to go to Naboo or Coruscant.
I think it would be wise, yes, for Gauze to remain here. And they kind of look over at 1N and says, there needs to be at least one voice of reason in the group.
That's not me.
I mean, comparatively.
I am fine to act in that role for this mission.
When why don't you go with Lysander then?
I'll do that. We can, Win, thanks for a second. I hate to do this because it goes against everything in my bones. But Lysander and I can take the one in 2000. And we can leave the Squonk here for those upgrades and to make sure the Jedi's not on board it.
Yeah, I would also recommend keeping the Jedi away from the Squonk.
Should we each take one of 1 and 2?
I was also going to suggest that.
Sorry, Sarah.
I don't feel. I feel like we shouldn't separate them. I feel like they'll be sad.
I
if they
also-
get separated.
You see, I have them in my data pad here as one thing, and it would get somewhat confusing to separate them. So for archival purposes, I would prefer we keep them together.
They're each individuals, Win.
Yeah. Also, you know, the recording capabilities and their communication abilities, it might be handy for each party to have one on hand. Also, if anything happens to either one, we can, you know, have a record of it so that we know.
All right.
Who gets gonked?
They're like twins. They're not the same thing.
All right. Well, I guess one each then. And the Squawk crew could take Gonk as well.
That
Sounds
makes sense to
amenable
me.
Okay, so to recap, Lysander and I will go with the Ambassador Polo to Naboo, and we will tell Elzar that we are willing to speak to the Jedi Council. However, we cannot physically travel to Coruscant, so they will have to speak to us on Naboo. We will take the one in 2000. Meanwhile, Gauze and 0 and 1 in will take the Squonk into Dodecapolis, get answers from the Council of Navigators, and possibly upgrade the Squonk.
And we'll take 2.
and we will take one, and Gonk will remain on the Squonk unless they have any objections.
We should also divide our credits accordingly. Like, I mean, I think the Squonk crew, if we're purchasing upgrades, we should probably have the lion's share of them. But you guys should also probably have some money. I don't know if they will like feed you or whatever. I'm not entirely sure how much food you organics need, but it seems important.
It is somewhat important, yes, that we eat food.
There's some meals prepared on the one in 2000, so I'll take the no hutta food because my standard doesn't really like that, and you guys can have the rest of it.
It is much appreciated.
Okay, but we should also divide the money.
We also have the trade assets, the trade goods to get rid of too.
I
This is
also
true.
intend to get rid of that on this trip.
Yeah, let's.
What are we doing with those bodies?
I was thinking that we could just bury them here.
We could put them in the building to make it look like. No, I'm sorry.
It was Aslan's fortress, right? So it would make sense for him to be there.
But would
Yeah,
that
And his kid.
would that make it look like the Republic attacked them though?
Well,
there's no Republic bodies here.
yeah.
It just looks like their security went haywire.
Whatever you guys want to do.
That makes sense
Well,
to me.
Sounds like we have a plan enough, and you know what? If the Republic throws a stink, we'll just bury the bodies here and call it a day.
All right, I'll go grab the bodies, and Zero will turn around and head back to the ships. I don't know how long it'll take, but we'll put Aslan on one shoulder and Bruven on the other, and walk back out.
That sounds good. And while Zero is doing that, Pola and Elzar walk back, and Pola's like, "Tell them. Go ahead. Tell them." And Elzar
Tell us what?
Elzar sighs and just says, "I may have made a inappropriate cover story for a mission, and Pola thought it was extremely inappropriate. So I apologize."
Wait, so you guys didn't...
Pola says, "Absolutely not. My wife would not appreciate that at all."
Well, it was a believable cover story.
Elzar smiles, "Thanks," and Pola just like whacks him on the back of the head.
Guys just kind of elbows Lysander. That makes your drink sound better.
Quiet.
Go get them.
When steps forward and says, "We have determined a course of action that we want to propose. As you can see, we have 2 ships. We also have some unfinished business that is necessary here on Yag'Dhul, but we do want to speak to the Republic and clear some of this whole mess up. So myself and Lysander here will take the 1 in 2000 along with one of our probe droids and escort you back to Naboo, where we can speak to the Republic emissaries as well as the Jedi Council, where unfortunately, Jedi Man, we can't go to Coruscant right now, even under the Republic's protection. But we are happy to speak to them or representatives remotely, while the rest of the group takes the Squonk into Dodocopolis to finish our business with the Council of Navigators, as well as make some light repairs to that ship."
Elzar says, "That sounds fine. I'll update the council, and they will likely send an inspector to Naboo to speak with you."
I can't wait to see which member of the council they want to send over.
Yeah, neither can I. I just want to say, though, in all seriousness, thank you very much. You've helped a lot of people today, even though you've killed a lot of people doing it.
I think at that moment, Zero walks out of the ship with the two bodies on their shoulders going, so where do we want to put these corpses?
Pola face palms a little bit and just says, "I'll deal with that."
All right. And Zero walks up to Pola and just drops the bodies at her feet.
And she sighs.
I feel great about this.
It's gonna go so good. It's gonna go so good. So good.
And y'all, that's a good stopping point for today.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
Well, yeah, that all actually just happened. Isn't that great? Y'all, thank you so much for listening to what is officially the end of the Yag'Dhul arc. I've said this a million times, but I'm going to keep saying it. It is such a pleasure to be doing this project and running this game and telling this Star Wars story with a group of really funny and hilarious people. Yeah, so we're about to enter a new phase of this podcast that I'm very, very excited about. The next few episodes are going to be split between two different groups because, as you just heard, the party is going to split up. And for those of y'all that are tabletop role-playing veterans, you know that you don't usually do that. But hey, it's Star Wars. Why can't people be on different planets? What's the worst that's going to happen, right? Anyway, once again, thank you all for listening. I want to do a quick shout-out to Grushkov, who provided the music for the show. Please check out their music if you love the High Republic. They've made a full suite of music. They just released some new music inspired by some of the Phase 2 books. And it's really, really awesome. I've been listening to it all week. It's really, really good. And yeah, that's a key shout out. If you want to hang out with us between episodes, we're still only just on Twitter, at least for as long as it exists. At For Light and Dice, you can follow us there. We would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to our podcast, leave a review, and tell your friends about us. We would really appreciate it. I think that's it for this week, y'all. Look forward to next week. It's going to be a beginning of a new phase of the story, and that's it. May the Force be with all of you.